Hello everybody, welcome to Twin Flame Talk Live. Oh no, I'm not down with this one. Doesn't this happen every time though? We're used to it. It's okay. I'll fix it. Ah! So as always, we are just waiting for our guest to arrive. And as soon as he does, hello! We're just waiting for Philip to show up. As soon as he is here, we will get started. Today we're going to be talking about soulmates, twin flames, but we're going to be talking about past lives. And actually, he is one of my... Well, we'll get into it later, but yeah, as soon as he shows up... Let me see. I've got to... Let's see. Bring up the chat and say hello. Okay. And then, let's see. He just said he's joined. I'm telling him to message me on the show. Babies, stop it. My babies are over there eating themselves. Alrighty then. Okay, I do have one viewer. It's Betsy. So we are just waiting for Philip. Okay, so I'm super excited to have him here. Are my notes under here? Where did I put my notes? Oh, they're right here. He's a good friend of mine. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I had to take a little hiatus because I lost my Sydney Wiggles, my boxer, on the 9th of December, and it was like really hard for me. And because of the holidays and everything going on, it was just easier for me to wait a decent little amount of time, have a little bit of a break. I had a really nice New Year's Eve party, and then, you know, now we can get back into it. Let's see. So I apologize, everybody. If he doesn't come, I know some of his answers because I'm half of this story, so I'll talk about it from my point of view. But I think he should be here pretty soon. That is the only thing. Yeah, Betsy's my only viewer. Happy to have you anyways, Betsy. I'm all amethyst out right now. Got my ring. Well, the ring never leaves, but I got the amethyst necklace from Priya, and I've got my amethyst crown that I made. Centering myself with amethyst. Well, I'm not 100% what is going on with him. Pardon everyone. Okay, so basically I will tell my side of the story about Philip while we wait for him. Ever since I was a little girl, I've had this dream that I was a man. And I had a big old giant belly. It was like hard as a rock. And I had a big old thick beard. And I stunk. And I stole and I raped and I pillaged and I looted and I drank hecka and I ate only meat pretty much. And I mean I whored and I did whatever I did whatever I wanted. I was for all accounts a pirate. Okay, I had a dream about this like my entire life. But I wasn't always a pirate in the dream even. I start off as a kind of, still a big guy, but like a handsome young man, strapping, and I'm strong. And I am basically living kind of near the sea, with this beautiful woman. And, I mean, she's gorgeous. I mean, not living with her, but she was like my love interest. And we had messed around. She had like beautiful long black hair and beautiful big boobs and a beautiful nice curvy booty and all of that. And it was, I mean, she was absolutely beautiful. And in the dream, that was my girlfriend. Darla, if you don't stop, I'm going to kick you out. Sorry, my puppy over there. The way she looks at me. Anyways, I wanted to go off to be a trader because I thought, oh, well, you know, trader, not traitor, but I wanted to go trade goods because I thought, well, if I go and trade some goods, I'll have some money to give this beautiful woman the life that she deserves. So I get on, and I believe I did spices, if I can remembering correctly. So we get on. Oh, hold on. He's saying he don't know how. If you're viewing it, like, click it to view. I can add you. If he gives up, I apologize, everybody. But I'll tell what I know about it anyways. It won't be a big deal. Anyways, so I'm gonna be a spice trader. I'm taking off across the ocean. I say this goodbye to this beautiful woman. I basically say, will you stay and wait for me? You know, I'll be back. You know, you're so beautiful. I'll marry you and this and that. Oh, it says that there's two people now. There he is. Add. Yeah. Okay, cool. We're adding him. See? Anywho, I'll just finish what I was gonna say real quick. Um, when I'm gone, we get boarded by pirates. Hey, Philip.
Hey,
How are
I'm
you?
missing a story apparently.
I was filling in time. I was telling them my version of my dream I had when I was a little kid about being a pirate. So you're not missing much.
Oh,
You know this story. So, but
yeah.
anyways, when I was off being a pirate, we got boarded. And when we got boarded, they killed pretty much everybody except I fought very valiantly. I killed a bunch of people, and they said, "Well, you're a good fighter, so you can either join us or die." So I was like, looks like I'm a pirate now. And so I went off to be a pirate, and I just kind of forgot about my entire life. And I just became the most gruesome pirate. And I ended up dying by the hand of my best mate because I had apparently raped his daughter and gotten her pregnant. She was like 14, 13, 14, somewhere in there. And then the knife went, he basically asked me about it. The girl in front of me, I laughed and said, yeah, I beeped her. And then he stabbed me in, brought it over and brought it up, and I remember like not even caring, like laughing, and the smell of my guts coming out was just horrible, like the worst smell you've ever smelled in your entire life. And then he kicked me off of my boat, and I remember when I fell into the water, just like the green of the water and the burn of it into my intestines, and just like being like, I don't give a fuck, and like that was the end of my thing. Okay, so without further ado, and that will play a part in this, this is Philip Ramos. Hello, Philip.
Hello, everyone. Is
Well,
anyone even watching? Doesn't matter.
yes, there's
Anyways,
two
hello,
people
everyone.
watching, but I've got a lot of people on the other side of the world who are asleep right now who like live for the replays. So
Great.
I want to see where I want to start here. Um, when did you first suspect that there was more to life, more than life than what's currently going on, meaning other lives? Like when did you first suspect that you had possibly lived in other lives?
Oh, geez. I guess that would be when I was very young, kind of like you. Uh, Memories that I shouldn't have, new things I shouldn't have known, and it just kind of, when I heard of the concept of reincarnation, it just made sense because it would explain a lot of things that were going on. Of course, I was a kid at the time and wasn't full of dogma yet from the Catholic Church. So I was way more accepting.
So,
And then over time, that went away.
the dogma from the church, what do you mean by that?
Oh, well, come on. They think you have one time around.
What?
You, okay, so the Catholic Church, when I was taught growing up, is you have one time around. You have
Oh,
one chance to get it right, and if you get it wrong, you're forever burning in hell.
okay, I get you. Yeah, that's the same as Pentecostal. I grew up Pentecostal, and that was the same with us. Is that you and they scared it into you that you are probably gonna go to hell because everybody says you better bust your butt to be like the perfect little girl ever, or you're just like screwed. Um,
Yeah, you obey.
okay, so this is kind of gonna just jump right into it, I guess. But how did you meet me, and what was our connection?
Oh, God. It was some random conversation that was going on, and I just decided to start talking to you, like direct messaging.
Hmm.
I just got a relationship, and I was kind of trying to date other people, and That's how it started. That was the original intention, was to try and date you.
Well, and I had just gotten out of my twin flame relationship, not, I mean, kind of knowing what it was at this point, but still willing to like explore other people at the same point in time. And then you were actually not just flat out, hey, nice tits. You were more like very, I don't know, very calm and collected and talking about me as a person. And I remember my wrist hurt really bad. So I sent a voice message. After you first heard my voice, what was your initial reaction?
Uh, Stunned. I was clearly stunned because like I said, the whole tone at first, I was not set into like try and make a real connection. I was just trying to date and get back out there, and then I hear your voice, and it's like I've known you forever. I just instantly knew you. I relaxed. I felt way less pressure, and it changed the whole mood
And that's how I,
pretty much. And so then I had to instantly message you back, like I've known you forever. And at the same time I sent that, you sent one to me saying the exact same thing. It was basically simultaneously.
yeah, I couldn't even get it done. I had literally, I heard his reply. My first thought is, I've known this guy forever. I send him that. He's already sending me one that says exactly the same thing. So that was, first of all, because I mean, I didn't know him from Adam, honestly, on this life, but I invited him to my house the very next day to meet.
And I live in a different town, so I had to drive over. And this whole, what, 30-minute drive, I kept thinking, why are you doing this? You don't even know this person.
Right? Crazy.
I know.
And then I'm a girl,
And
I was home alone and I'm thinking the same thing. I'm thinking I'm having this person that I have a 15-minute conversation with and I invite him over because it was late at night. I was like, I'll see you tomorrow. Just come over. And he's like, yeah, I'm coming. And I was like, oh my gosh.
yeah, it instantly went from hey, how's it going? To old meeting an old friend again.
Mhm.
And it was great.
When you did meet me, you said something pretty particular. You want to tell the people what you said?
What?
When we first met, the first things out of your word, the first words to me, were
Oh yeah.
interesting.
That was also weird. So
That was weird.
I see her I see her and I meet her, and like I said, instantly I feel the connection of like an old friend. And then I get this flash of anger, like I want to just deck her. And I mean, she is like to hear on me. She's this little girl, and I'm just, why do I want to punch this little happy person in front of me? And I don't know. You seem to have sensed that, and you asked about it. I told you, I don't. I want to hug you, and I want to hit you, or
Yeah,
I think it was to kiss you and hit you. Yeah.
that's what he said. He's like, I don't know
So
if I should kiss you or hit you. And I'm like, what in the fuck? And then he said, well, the
I
last
know.
time you saw me, you might not remember, but you left me standing on a shore and you never came back. And my jaw just kind of went, what in the fuck? And then go ahead, tell him your version of the story. My dream was my version of the story.
Um, like I said, memories that make no sense, memories I shouldn't have. And one of the memories was like it was of you leaving me on a beach, but it wasn't you. It's
Hmm.
a different you. And at this point, when I start talking to you about this, I'm struggling with my whole world changing, my life changing, and I was still clinging on to what I learned in church. So I didn't know how to actually feel about it, but I just ran with it. I felt like I could tell you anything and just kind of it wouldn't matter. And yeah, apparently we were a couple in a past life, and you ditched me to be a pirate.
Trader. I was gonna be a spice trader and come back with money for you. That wasn't my fault.
Yeah, and that also reaches into like the more of the memories and the feelings. I'd always had a longing, and I'd always been staring at the beach, at the ocean, with always this melancholy feeling that I shouldn't have as a child. Like I was waiting for something.
Like everybody else is happy at the beach and you can't get happy at the beach.
Well, yeah, but I'm still happy. I'm happy to be there. I'm excited to be there. But then a second, like if I just relax for a minute and look out into the sea, I can almost remember. I can feel it at the very least. And that's that.
And the ocean always scared me. Particularly being on boats scared me, and I didn't understand why. And when I'm on one, it's different, but getting me onto the boat is like, no, thank you. And then I've always had a fear of sea monsters, like my entire life, and I'm wondering what ate me before I was completely. I mean, I always loved hammerhead sharks. Maybe it was one of them. I don't remember that part. I just remember that. I mean, I was already so cut open when I did was on the drowning process. It's like what was going to get me first, kind of a thing. Um, when I met Philip and he finally was face to face with me, it was um you almost don't realize that you're actually where you are. I'm like looking around thinking, am I being punked? Is this a movie set? How did this person come up with this information on that? Because at that point in time, I had never said the story of my dream. I had never told, and if anybody missed that, I tell it at the beginning. Um, but I had never experienced something like that with somebody else. Like I've always my phenomenon are my own. I mean, maybe somebody else is in the room, but never to the point where somebody can come up with the other side of the dream like that. So, that really blew my mind. Um, okay, so Philip, what do you do to practice your gifts and your abilities, or do you?
I don't.
Mhm.
I try to like I said, a dogma from the Catholic Church helped me deny a lot. And so any kind of gifts I have, for the longest time just wrote them off as coincidence or chance or me overhearing something. I took that as just oh, I must have overheard that. So I don't really practice them. I only recently have I started to try and explore myself and hone my feelings.
And how is that going for you so far? Are you enjoying that? Is that seeming like that's more of a true path than hiding them, or would you suggest to people who are hiding them just keep them hidden?
Oh, okay. Um, each one has its perks, so it's all down to you. Definitely going against the norm and embracing whatever you feel and trying to find your gifts. You're gonna face people who will make fun of you, make your life miserable as best they can. But once you unlock yourself, you're gonna find a more connection with the entire. That sounds so hippie. You'll find a connection with the entire universe,
No, that's
man.
perfect.
But when you deny it, you are closed off, but nothing can touch you.
I won't say that nothing
So,
can touch you. I've seen people who they close themselves off to the point of a grilled cheese sandwich, and things go shit for them all the time. And there are what I would consider to be very clear signs of don't touch this. This is going to be hot, and they just look right past it. And there's very clear signs of come over here and pick up this quarter, and there's a $20 bill next to it under the trash can if you would just look or whatever. And they just kind of float on by, and that's like I mean, agree to disagree is completely fine, by the way. But I'm just for me at least, I feel like just because you don't believe in it doesn't mean it doesn't believe in you, and that's all that truly matters. You know,
uh, yes, I I will disagree at a certain point.
that's fine. That's
Because
fine.
it's because
It's a good
they're
share.
uninitiated. They don't know. So they're not going to see signs. You're going to clearly see signs. So their life will go to garbage, and they're not going to be sure why. They'll call it bad luck or no
Hmm.
one likes them.
And
They'll
they
make
don't
up a
believe in
thousand
things yet bad
excuses.
luck for some reason. And I do realize that that's a thing. Like people won't believe in good luck or praying to a stone or not even praying to a stone, but like using a stone for manifestation or using an oil. But they'll be like, well, that was just some bad luck. It's like, well, okay, you don't believe in good luck, like you don't. I don't know.
Like what kind of luck do you like?
Yeah.
Like ah, geez.
Okay.
So yeah, they're not going to be able to be touched by it because they're not going to see that they're being affected by it.
Okay. What about knowing your past lives helps you in this life, or does it make it less or more special now?
Uh okay. Knowing I know very little about my past lives. I only have one past life that I've been able to link to someone else and it changing my current life.
Mhm.
So they really don't have any kind of influence. All right, I'll take that back. Knowing without knowing, it's extremely helpful. A lot of these things I wouldn't have had time to learn, and knowing them early on really helped me survive.
So do you
So I
enjoy our
guess it
link?
has had.
You enjoy our link together now that we are like I mean, because I will clear this up for anybody wondering, what are we? Are we like we're past lives? What are we? We are soulmates, but soulmate comes in a giant array. It doesn't mean it always has to be in a romantic variety. There can still be
Mhm.
feelings on either side, but it's like the capacity that a soulmate is that they love you for who you are and what you are, and they're there for you. They're really there for you for anything that you possibly need. My twin flame, Robbie, loves Philip, loves him, thinks he's awesome. He's welcome to come and stay the night anytime he wants. My whole house loves him. Um, my karmatic loves him. So it's just, oh, pardon me, my bijou came in. Godly. Say hi, bijou. All right, it wants on the bed. Alrighty then.
It's the pig dog.
Yeah, well, big is relative in these parts, but yeah, she's bigger than the rest. Um, okay.
No, I said pig. Pig
Oh,
dog.
pig dog. Yeah, she is a piggy. Um,
Yeah.
so you said that you didn't, but do you actively embrace your gifts now, or do you have plans for the future of letting that be a thing where you really do embrace your gifts?
I haven't decided yet.
Pardon me for my
I'm
dog
still kind of on
snoring,
the fence.
everyone, but my bad.
Told you, pig dog. Uh, no, I haven't really decided yet.
Okay. Well, this is the thing.
I've.
Go ahead.
Hmm?
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, I was originally the skeptic that just saw too much, and you'd have to be kind of blind to yourself at a certain point to be a skeptic still from what was going on with me. So I don't think that there's really a question about embracing it. I don't think I have a choice.
Yeah.
It's gonna kind of just happen.
This poor guy, I'm like, come hang out with me. And he's like, okay, I want to. But at the same point in time, every time he does, I've got some sort of lesson for him, whether he asks for it or not. On New
Hmm.
Year's, he came by without saying too much. I asked him what animal he had been seeing a lot recently, and he said roosters. And I explained why he had been seeing roosters, and then I said, "But you're no longer a rooster." I said, "You're Eye of the Tiger now. You're a tiger." And he was like, "What?" And then I just kind of like walk away and leave him with this mystery of, and I left him with a pendant too. It was a tiger eye talisman to help focus that energy. So
I have it somewhere here. Hold on.
okay, no problem. But I gave him the pendant as I walked by. I was like, "You're Eye of the Tiger now, so you're no longer a rooster." And he's just like, "Where do you come up with this stuff?" Because I guess I come out of left field, but it's always at the right time, and I mean, it's for a reason. It's not for a reason. And it's not so much that I'm like his guru or anything like that. It's just that we have been together so long, and I remember. I chose to come fully knowing. He chose not to, and this guy right here is magic as beep. Okay, this guy could do whatever. He could manifest whatever. He could do whatever if he chooses to unlock that. If he doesn't want to, like he was saying, fine. But I mean, let me tell you, I mean, he's as close as you can get to fireworks coming out your fingertips that I've ever seen, other than myself. So, personally, I think it's good to embrace the gifts, and I've kind of, I guess, been not forcing it on him, but I guess in a little bit, I'm egging him on that way. Um,
Hmm.
oh, thank you so much. Moira loves our interview, by the way. Um,
Oh, thanks, Mora. Mora?
Moira, yeah, she's awesome.
Moira. Sorry.
Okay. I was gonna ask you, what are your plans regarding soul stretching? Um, but I guess I would have to explain what that is. So soul stretching is
Yes.
like you're currently in this form of reality within this body, but then you choose to like think
Oh.
outside of your house, and then you choose to think bigger than that or whatever it is. And so like wherever your current comfort zone is, it's pushing the actual boundary of yourself. So if you're like a wallflower, it's pushing yourself to get off the wall and talk to somebody. It's like you came to the party, and I know you were really really hesitant because you really wanted to come, but that meant there was going to be other people. You're going to have to possibly interact with other people. You didn't know how you were going to be taken or perceived. You didn't know exactly what you were getting into. How crazy does Shaenna get? I get crazy, guys, but you know what I mean. but, but it was like a chance for you to let your hair down and allow yourself to stretch and grow in from the deepest part of your soul, because like there's that initial part of you that just automatically says no. And so to push beyond that when your initial reaction is no, to stretch out beyond that, that's what I'm talking about. Like it's becoming, it's not metamorphosizing into something that you're not, but something that you truly are and always have wanted to be.
Uh, no, I get that. There, I was worried it has something to do with shoes,
Oh yeah.
stretching my soul.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
shoe stretching. What?
This guy's
No,
funny, isn't he?
I that has to happen in everyone's life. You have to expand your circles and face what you're scared of. As long as it's not like a bear, don't run up and slap bears. That's mean to the bear.
Right?
But yeah, poor bear has to maul someone now because it's
Fatty.
all inconvenient.
It's like eating a cheeseburger from McDonald's. You don't need that in their system. Come on, it's no good.
No, 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 no. Uh, but you should try new things. If you want to travel, then travel on a shoestring budget, where
Mhm.
you're not exactly sure that you're gonna sleep in a bed, like you might sleep on your friend's floor or in your car for a night.
I like
Just
that.
really go out there and experience. Yeah, really go out there and experience life because that's what stretching is to me,
I did
experiencing life.
that. I did a 5 year walkabout. It was not easy. It was hard. I don't suggest a 5 year
I
walkabout for everybody. Everybody does their own thing, but at whatever.
I suggest Airbnb, not a 5 year walkabout. That's tough. Start off with Airbnb, maybe a day trip to somewhere nice. Uh, don't go as hardcore as Shaenna. She is wild.
I was moment to moment. I passed through several people's lives that needed the help, and then I moved on, much like Mary Poppins. And I mean, I saved a couple people from killing themselves, and that's literally what I did. I like ran around, and and that wasn't my intention. It's just what ended
Like
up
Kung
happening.
Fu.
It just ended up. I would go. The deed would. I would fix the issue, and I would move on. I would teach whatever lesson, and I would move on. And it was like I showed up and I left as quick as I came, um, and I didn't know where the wind was going to take me, but that's what I needed to do. And what kind of a shaman would I be if I hadn't gone and done something like that? You know what I mean? Honestly, like what would I? If you don't know what it is to sleep in the street, then you can't help somebody who is. If you don't know what it is to be like seriously oppressed and seriously, and I'm not saying that I sought that. It's just what happened. But I also feel that that was me paying for a little bit of my past life as that man, because the man that I was when you knew me was not the man that I was when I died. I had went from being like very caring and very, you know, all about like focus and this and that to just giving no shit, zero. Uh-oh, did we lose him? We might have lost Philip. Well, hopefully he'll come back. I don't know where he went. We're gonna wait. Let me see if I can add him again. He might have gotten a phone call or something and it unexpectedly kicked him off. I could see that happening. I only had like 7 more or 5 more questions. Oh, if you guys have questions, when I get him back on, you can start writing them down below and then we'll address those. So if you have questions to Philip or me about anything that we're talking about today, anything about past lives, I don't know. Let's try one more time. Let's see. I thought that that was you. Approve. Add. I'm trying to approve you. Here, I'm going to clear requests real quick. I'm going to turn off the setting and turn back on the setting. Turn off the setting, exit, click it back, add. There. I'm trying to add you again. Should be happening. No answer from live video guest. Okay, so I'm trying. Answer your phone. Do 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 do. Answer your phone. Well, we'll see. Philip, can you still see me, or like, are you still at least watching? If so, write, like, type to me that you are still watching. Because there's more than one way to skin a cat. I can also have you answer the questions via typed and then just address it verbally. Verbally. Your little face is up here. Bring Philip on camera. I wish technology worked for me the way nature does. Out of the box. Out of the box. Says it's adding him. We'll see what happens. Darn, that was really good. Thank you everybody for watching and staying in there. Like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to type them below. I am not 100% what's going on here. Cancel this. One more time. Okay, well, I think, let's see. Philip, are you there? All right, well, my other questions for him, I don't know what the beep, but what other memories did you hold that might have keys to other past lives? So, try to add you again. Okay. If not, though, just like answer them via type, I guess is how we'll have to do it. But that question was, what other memories do you hold that might be keys to other past lives? So, what are reoccurring dreams or reoccurring feelings that maybe don't have to do with our life together, but have to do with maybe other lives that you might have experienced? You might not know all the keys to them, but it's just something that you know. And by the way, I did hit add. It says it's adding at the top. Well, what do you think? Beep, everyone, beep. What's going on, bro? No answer from live video guests. Okay, well, Philip, if you're still here, just read what you say. I'll try one more time for giggles, but no, it says no answer. I don't know what happened. That's definitely on your end. Okay. Yeah, so what other memories do you have that might be keys to other past lives? It might not be, what am I trying to say? Like a full memory, but do you have any little tiny things? Well, guys, this interview might be over. I don't know. If so, I am sorry. But thank you, Philip, for how much that you did tell us and everything. And I think the technical difficulties are just part of life sometimes. I need something, though, Philip. Clap your hands if you believe in fairies. I was trying to figure out some of my phobia and the pain and saw a flashback of times I had been seriously injured, and I have never known how much is real and how much is a past life. How do you even learn the difference? Because you just, it feels very, very real to the point where sometimes you'll be in the middle of doing your dishes or something like that, and you'll get a flash of it, and you almost get that sinking feeling like you forgot to do something, or that, it feels more real. It's brought into this life. There are times where I cried over a daughter that I had at one point in time. I've never had any children. But the feeling of like losing her and losing her at such a young age and things like that, and it was like a tragic event, it was a drowning, it's like, and then I've almost drowned so many times in this life, it's like, there's a coincidence, Maybe it's just because I've almost drowned in this life. Maybe it's just my brain tweaked it. But I truly believe when you have those things that they constantly are coming into your life and they hold true for phobias in this life for no reason. For instance, you're afraid of fire. Like you have dreams that you were burned at the stake and you're seriously afraid of fire, but you've never so much as been lightly burned, or you have afraid of fear of trains, a huge fear of trains, and there's no reason for that. Different things like that. Those are different phobias I would see hold true. Okay, so I believe in fairies, Philip, but I still can't get you online. Approve. Add. I saw a past life I saw a past life just recently on Sunday, and my guides reminded me of the Titanic. Oh, you know what, Moira? I can totally see you being there. I totally can see you being there. That makes a lot of sense. Um, a lot of people were on the Titanic that did come back because it was so abrupt. I'm not 100% sure why everybody chose to take that tragedy, but I know a couple of the people who were on the Titanic are Tony and Jenny Bruschi from realghoststoriesonline.com, and they talk about it all the time. Like, they don't know for a fact that they're, I'm 99.9% sure they were on the Titanic because their obsession with the Titanic, it's ridiculous, and they've always felt a pull towards it, and they get like seriously emotional, and it's like they remember April 12th, whatever, every April 12th they like remember it's Titanic Day. It's like I don't remember, nobody who remembers. um he keeps trying, you guys. I keep approving it. Powers that be, let him come back on. Yeah, so it's just one of those things where if it keeps happening, keeps happening, keeps happening, and then if synchronicities come into play that seem to link up with that on a constant level, I mean, at some point in time, how has he declined? I approve you. Shaenna approves you. Add. This is why me and technology do not get along, people.
Hey,
There he is! Oh my god! Philip!
yeah, that was totally my fault. There was this little button that was in the way, and I pushed it, and it killed it.
Well, don't do
Yeah,
that again.
no,
I'm
no, no.
not good at.
Don't touch anything.
All right. So, what other memories do you hold that might be keys to other past lives? Now, that doesn't mean that you know that's a past life. It's just something that's like a memory that strikes you in the same way this did, and it's like reoccurring, and you're like, that could be a clue to something else.
Um, okay. So it's gonna sound weird. Uh, I remember how to track, hunt, and stalk from somewhere in the forest. There was lots of ferns around. I remember it being cold, and I was using furs to keep myself warm. And I'm leaning down looking at what looks like a small cat's paw. And we're just trying to follow it. I don't know who else is there. It's just a vague memory. Uh, Sand, lots of sand, a different one, very bright. I've seen that many a times in dreams, and then kind of when I just relax and
That was
meditate.
probably when we were in Egypt together because it was very bright the whole time. Like I feel like that's why we're always tan, right? So
I don't remember that very clearly, just the amount of sand and how it was just, geez, the brightness of it. No pyramids, no kind of monuments, just empty desert.
I'm pretty sure you got exiled. I'm pretty sure that I ended up taking poison on that time, and I'm pretty sure you fucking took off. And that was because we got in trouble because we got. I'm not supposed to when I was the like a priestess. You're not supposed to like involve yourself in certain things if you're a certain kind of priestess, and I was one of those ones that was supposed to remain abstinent, and then you're for sure supposed to remain abstinent, and I think actually somehow you were supposed to be a eunuch but then you weren't, and then um but like that was
The
that was a
eunuch
lot.
that
I know
wasn't.
I know a lot of people from Egypt that have come back into my life in this time around,
Hmm.
and most of them remember that I had like basically like a hand boy with me at all times. Like I had a guy with me at all times, and he was like there to take care of like all of my stuff,
Hmm.
doing all my instance work and whatever. But it was like the only guy allowed in the temple. Um, And so, like, I feel that there was some hanky panky going on or something that we shouldn't have done because I know for a fact that time I went out via poison. I was all like,
Went out via
so,
poison.
and you usually don't do that unless you know that's like your only option. You're just like, oh shit, they're coming for me. Yeah, you know what I mean? I don't want to be put in like a brazen bowl or anything. Like, so, okay. Um, what are you working towards in this life? And do you think that anything from your past is helping you or that you're going to accomplish anything in this life that maybe you didn't get to in a past one?
Ah, accomplish things from past life, I have no idea. Each one's unique and different and special. But um, as far as this life is, I want to free myself from, that sounds ridiculous, my masters. So basically, technology, people who would own me in my time. I want to try and own as much of my own time as possible.
Yep, completely makes sense that you would need that. And that I've needed that really a lot too. I flipped back and forth from being a man and a woman almost equally because I
Hmm.
enjoy being a woman more because it's like you get to be pretty and you get to like do all this like feminine stuff and whatever. At least traditionally speaking, nowadays fucking no holds bar, right? Whatever you want goes, I guess. But like
Hmm.
back traditionally, a woman's role in this and that, I liked the femininity of it, but I hated the lack of control and I hated that men really do control every outcome. And so that's why whenever I would be a man, I would be like the epitome of what you think of like a I'm a man, you know what I mean? Like that's always what I
Very
would try to.
broken douchebag.
Mm-hmm. And in this, yeah, really. And then in this life, I've started off with I have a very masculine approach to how I do things. I feel like the way I command things and the way I like get things done. You saw firsthand how I run a house full of 50 people. You know what I mean?
Well, it's a house
I
mostly of guys too.
Yeah, and I'm just like da da da. They're like oh. But I'm a nice person. I'm not trying to say I'm not a nice person. I have authority, and I'm only 5'2". But the reason why I carry that is because I'm only 5'2", and because I realize both sides of the fence, and I'm trying to like find that balance in this life. So, I mean, do you find yourself okay? Like for instance, I know you're into war games and miniatures and things like that, but do you think that that has to do with life and war in the past?
Uh, maybe. I haven't put that much thought into that one, to be honest. Um, there's a lot of parts of that question. What exactly do you want to know? Like
I'm
about
just
that?
I'm just asking questions that I think that the public wants to know. Because I mean, I talk all the time. They hear me talk, and
Hmm.
I want a different perspective. And I give great authority to because I know you're real. I know you're real because you came up with things that nobody in life can come up with on me, and I'm the hardest nut to crack. So, your opinion, if it's different or not, it's a good opinion. And so, even if you don't have the answers, your greatest shot in the dark is all I'm looking for.
Well, first off, I do really love how we have similar but very different opinions on a lot of things.
Yes.
Uh, but as for how the past lives, like what I'm doing now is trying to mostly find myself. My biggest hobby is listening to music and just that's it, listening
Oh,
to
you
music.
got heart for Moira for saying that. When you watch the replay, you'll see the little hearts fly up. That was great.
Oh wow. Um, I don't that whole wargaming aspect. That's a small aspect. I mean, I do a lot of wargaming painting, but I do lots of artwork as well. And I do feel like I have a larger well of stuff to pull from. And with me, a lot of it, see, like the past live stuff doesn't come out as clear memories. It comes out as emotions and feelings. I feel it before I
Yeah.
actually can see it at all. And that's why I can't really know if it's coming from a past life or just a well of emotions I have somewhere inside me. But I use it every day to help, I guess, experience a deeper life. Does that make sense?
That's what it's for. And I mean, Betsy asked earlier, she said, oh, you can go back and read, not just remember. Um, trying to figure out some of her phobias and pains.
Hmm.
She had times where she had flashbacks where she was seriously injured, and she never knows how much is real and how much is a past life. How do you learn the difference? And I kind of feel like, I've had cravings for food I never ate before. And I'm like, I need this. And there's like, have you ever had that? No, but I need that. And you eat it and you're just like, oh, it's home. And you're like, wait a second. Wait a second. How do I know this? And for me, it was beer rocks. They're an old food, right? And I had a beer rock and I was like, what the am I missing, right? And it just reminded me of home, and like I never had one in a million years. But like as soon as I heard the name Beer Rock, I was like, I'm going to get one of those. That's gonna happen, and that was crazy for me because that's like an old Irish food. I do have
Hmm.
Irish heritage, so that's what that is. So, for you to answer her question, let's see. She never knows how much is real and how much is fake. How do you learn the difference? So, what would your guess on that be?
It would be, that pit in your stomach you get right before a fall or something bad happens. You're
Mm-hmm.
positive that this can't be real, but it's real. That
That's
exact
how I
feeling
described
is
it too.
that is exactly how it's going to feel when you know it's something pulling from the past. Now,
Yeah.
the past pulls you as you pull to it. I have the whole feeling that it all happens at one time and we experience it slice by slice. But we're still connected to all of our pasts, just we don't understand the connection. So you're going to feel that very it's not real but real situation when you encounter your
It's
phobias or
surreal. A literal surreal, right? That's
yeah,
what it is.
surreal.
Like,
Oh
yeah.
wow, I never knew the actual definition of surreal.
Yeah,
It's
that's actually surreal.
yeah, no, it's you have a very surreal feeling, and there's a way to eat a certain kind of sardine that where you cook it, like really cook it over a flame, and it's almost like charred. Little blackened sardines, they taste wretched, but I can't help but feel happy when I eat them. There is this old callback in my heart of somewhere far off with a lone fire where I'm eating these. And so that's why I'll eat sardines, even though I'm not always keen on their flavor.
Wow. See, yeah, that's beautiful. And yeah, and you're just like, why?
Why
And
do I like this?
my favorite kind of food, if I was gonna have like I love pizza, but if I could have my favorite meal, it's literally like dried cured meats with dried cheeses or assortment cheeses, some bread, and then like maybe like a couple fruit of whatever, and to eat it like just little. That's like my favorite way to eat food. And I mean, I love hamburgers and I love pizza and I love mashed potatoes and I love all these different kinds of food. But the one that makes me feel like this is real, this is like actual food. That's
Mhm.
how I eat it. But remember that like that, and you do it with your hands. You don't worry about it. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
there's something about that. I love eating a chicken leg right off the bone. A lot of people are like it's gross. It's primal. Well, it's how you're supposed to. If you can't honor the fact that it came off of an animal and you need all the remnant of the animal to be gone, then maybe you have guilt over that and you shouldn't be eating the animal. And I was like, I say like, thank you, chicken. You know what I mean? So like,
Or they were a chicken in their past life and it just feels wrong.
maybe it does. I can't eat fish. I'm a fish. Pisces. So maybe that. Let's see what Moira says. Moira says,
Uh-huh.
yes, that makes complete sense as I'm writing a book of twin flames since 2017, and every time I thought I was finished writing, I still keep gathering more guidance, and it's a lot from the past and the present. Yes, that is true. You're just going to keep getting it, kind of. So,
Hmm.
knowing some of your soulmates, how do you feel about it, and has it helped you or hurt you?
I actually only know one soulmate. I know you say there's others around me, just you. Uh,
Okay.
it's it's helped. Um, this whole journey wouldn't have started if I didn't feel this connection with you. If we weren't soulmates from the past, I probably would have gone forward with the whole flirtation thing, and it would have died horrifically.
I don't think it could have been built that way. I think that everything happened how it's supposed to happen, and it couldn't have gone another way, personally.
Well, so what I'm saying is knowing someone from a previous life helped cut through all the bullshit of this life. It went straight
Right?
from hi stranger to oh my god, it's you again.
It was
How
like,
the
thank God. Oh my God, I missed you. It's been so, I didn't even know I missed you until I remembered that you were there. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
I knew that there was someone missing. Yeah.
Yeah. All of our hugs are warmer. Um, all of our feelings for each other are really simplified but yet deep. It's far more complex than, and
There's no
come on, you
bullshit.
guys. Everyone has to have an old friend that they have at some point, like the kid from kindergarten, someone they've known forever, or a cousin or whatnot. And even though, you might have fought in the past, you just see them and you're like, oh, it's this guy again. That's kind of how it is. I'd like to have the connection with more people, but right now the only one that spoke to me was Shaenna.
Well, he's got he's I'll talk to you on a private matter, but you're around the corner, so don't even trip. Don't even trip. You got somebody right on your heels. Betsy asks, "How do you discover your soulmates?" It kind of just falls in your lap, but you will know it's them the second that you hear their voice, the second that you are like this, because it's like. And then this is the thing. I was tired when I was writing him, and I was like, "Fuck, I don't want to write nobody." You know what I mean? But then I was like, all right." And then I sent that voicemail, and it's like I could have been a bitch. I could have done whatever, but instead, oh nope, we lost him again. No, but instead, uh, I invited him out. This was solid. It was undeniable. There was my mind couldn't comprehend it, but at the same point in time, it didn't matter if my mind could comprehend it because I just knew for a fact it was real. I will say that you're going to be a lot likelier to run into your soulmate if you were on a path not looking for one. When you were on a path for yourself. And when I say that, I mean that you are literally, you wake up, you feed yourself, you love yourself, you give yourself what you need, you make yourself look, nice, and you go and you do something you want to do, not just something you have to do, you know? Um, it's declining him. Hold on, let me try again. Accept, accept, accept. Anyways, but yeah, so when you're on that super, you're happy with where you're going. Hello, Philip, the disappearing man.
Hey, again. I didn't do it this time. It was all
Okay,
technology.
it's okay. But that's like I feel like you're not really looking for them. It's like they kind of just fall in your lap because you're on that self discovery and you're taking chances. If you're taking chances that are the chances you've always wanted to take, but you're just like, oh, I've always wanted to learn to do this, but I'm too afraid to go over there. But then you just take the chance and you go, you're probably going to run into a soulmate there. And they're just as scared as you were, because you're going to be on that same level, much similar to a twin flame, but not as much pressure. Like me and Philip got zero pressure. I'm telling you what, me and him were just like whatever. If he's sad, if I'm happy, doesn't matter. We balance each other out. In a lot of ways, it would be a lot easier relationship if I were with him. But at the same point in time, I know that he has his twin flame in this life, like I do. And so it would be cheating us both to be that in this. So that's why we're easy to be friends. Okay. Moira says, I'm happy you're talking about this as I fell down the stairs in October and all of a sudden I'm getting weird memories of my fall, but I have always felt about swimming accident when I was 9 years old. So yeah, I guess, knocking at yourself on the head could jar something. You
Well, think of it as like a connected memory. The type of anxiety and fear you felt at a moment in a past life, in your past, can link up with the current moment to where they overlap, and it'll,
Yeah,
it'll sometimes awaken something or start something. And like I was saying earlier, you can deny it and then be safe in that denial, or accept it and have a whole new world to face on
right?
top of this world to face.
She says, I've heard of people discovering their tribe like how Betsy has discovered her tribe. I feel my soulmate is in Florida as we always talk and we talk as best friends. Well, okay, so that could definitely be because you will have that freedom of just like talking. At least I feel like, as far as your tribe goes, Philip is my tribe. Like he came to my house for New Year's, met a room full of people. I had what? How many people? I don't even know how many people were here.
I didn't count. There's too many.
And with the exception of four people who I personally do not know, they were extras that came with the other people. The, I he told me that there was, and that was those were the same people I had. I didn't know them, so whatever. But he said that he had never felt more comfortable in a room full of strangers, and that is because we would have the same tribe. Like his tribe will. It's like a Venn diagram, and you draw a circle, and this is you, and this is my tribe, and then this is my soulmate, and this is their tribe, and these circles will interlink. And this is my twin flame, and and this is their twin flame, so that's going to intermingle, and we're all part of this intermingled web. We're all connected on this web.
I see it more as the you are the company you keep. That's in
That
all your
well.
lives. So I'm very connected to Shaenna, and that connection means that she's gonna like likewise people that I like. We're gonna have the same kind of personality types that we draw towards us, that we click with, and that's how that room was. And everyone was really comfortable and happy with each other. I freaked out at first. I put my phone down and then left it, and I went outside. And then I freaked out and came inside to look for my phone, and it hadn't been moved. People had walked over it, had put plates around it, but they hadn't touched it. It was the first time at any kind of party that I put my phone down in the center of a table full of crap and didn't have a worry. I didn't care if the phone rang and someone picked it up, or if someone tried to steal my phone.
That wouldn't
I
happen
just,
here. They'd
no,
leave with a
it's,
broken foot, tell you what, and kick some ass. Leave with my
well,
tiny foot up their ass. Sorry.
it's okay. Um, it was a very surreal event. But it all depends on how in touch you are with yourself. If you can, if you meditate and put time into it, you will know your soulmate when you meet them. But if you don't, you might already have a great connection with with a soulmate that you don't understand why you and this person get along so well, but it's awesome. You guys click. That's kind of what it feels like.
Betsy asks, can you mistake a soulmate for a twin flame or vice versa?
I have no idea.
I would say that yes, because when I was first separated from Robbie and I was finding out what a twin flame was and I was on this like betterment path, the thought kept coming in my mind, what if he isn't my twin flame? But what if he's just a spark? Because typically there's a spark that ignites the self realization that there is this cosmic path and there is this person that's perfect or whatever out there. And I thought maybe it could be Philip, but then honestly, it was pretty clear because of how easygoing we were together that he was a soulmate and not my twin flame. I took him out for his birthday one year, right after we met. Remember, I don't know if you remember that or whatever.
I do.
And
I do.
for whatever reason, I had like a ton of money at that time, and I'm like, "Let's go!" And I like pulled him all. How many hundreds should we need? He's like 100. Like
Like
we'll do
what?
it. Yeah, and we like and I like we had a really good time. We had some lunch, we went shopping a little bit, and like I don't forget what all we did, but it was so fun and so non-pressure and just so ridiculously easy. I knew there was nothing I could ever do that would upset Philip, even if I tried, and I knew there was nothing he could ever do that would ever upset me, even if he tried. And with a twin flame, you're gonna get some resistance every now and then because it's the yin and the yang, and you're gonna have those times where you do butt heads every now and then. Which, not saying that that wouldn't be good, that would be fucking great. But I also was aware pretty much on the instant that I got close with him again that he, just like I do, has that perfect person for him in this life, and that the although we could be happy and we could be very happy, um, the second that he were to know of that person, he would no longer be satisfied, even if he were to stay, and he would be nice enough to stay because he's that kind of guy. And I wouldn't want him to have to go through all of that. And it's the same with me. I have the same thing where it's like I'm nice enough to just stay, but then it sucks if you have like a longing for someone else. So we kind of just cut the BS in the beginning, said we love each other. We've got this relationship, we've got this connection. We are the very best of friends, the very like closest of people, but we don't have to take it beyond that level because we know that there's more out there and we're willing to wait for the what's better, I guess. Is that correct, Phil?
I was waiting for me to be able to have my say about our imaginary relationship. Um, I it was very
You
clearly
don't have
that
an
we were going.
imaginary one.
It was very clear that we were on separate paths right away from me, and yeah, there was no way I was going to muddle that up. And yeah, you may see us joke around, and we will occasionally sound like we're flirting, but it's no more than I flirt with my male friends as well. It's the same diff. So uh, I imagine you can think that your soulmate is your twin flame, and vice versa. It all depends on what your expectation of a twin flame is. I imagine some people think it's the person you're going to be perfect with, that you're going to click with. It might not be. It might be the person that challenges you to grow. It could be
Mm-hmm.
that person that gives you a hard ass time. And actually, what that thing is loud. That future in the
Oh,
wow.
my Bijou?
Yeah.
There it
Could you
is.
tell? Could you tell them we're filming right now?
Bijou. Bijou B?
We're
Bijou.
filming, Bijou. We're filming.
Can you
We're filming.
can you try yeah, can you try to not snore please so much? The other
Use your
ones are there.
inside use your inside voice when snoring.
Sorry. I'm so used to it. It goes into background noise for me. I'm just like, eh. Robbie told me when I met him, he's like, I snore. And I'm like, it's okay. I have a dog that snores. He's like, nothing snores as loud as me. And I'm like, you haven't met Bijou.
Bijou was impressive.
It's impressive.
So what's the next question?
Um, Moira says, uh oh. She says that her friend, who was her soulmate in Florida, he's her best friend. He just recently, or their mutual friend just recently passed away from a stroke, and he felt that I was sad and then made sure that I was concentrating on her book. Okay, so she's just basically commenting about how that twin flame or that soulmate connection, how her soulmate contacted her when she was feeling upset, to make sure that she was doing something good for herself and concentrating on something good. I will say, I feel like you and me do that from time to time. Now, we don't
Yes.
have the most constant communication, but we do keep in touch. Like, we don't let it go at least not 6 months. You know what I mean? Like, we'll at least be like, hey, how are you doing? Whatever. But I
Hmm.
will say there have been a few times that you have contacted me out of the blue and been like, how's your night going? And I really wasn't having a good night. And I felt that, like, talking to you really did make me feel better. And I think that there was a couple times I kind of did that to you as well, where you're like, how did you know I needed to talk? Or how did you know I needed, and I think that can happen with anybody, I feel like, if you're friends enough, but
Yeah.
that if you are a soulmate or a twin flame with somebody, that you are more likely to kind of get the spider sense.
I
Would you
well, yeah.
agree?
There's definitely a link there between us, and uh, the thing is, there were times that I even denied to myself that I needed talking to or any kind of friendship at that point because I really
Mm-hmm.
wanted to be left alone. And you would start messaging me, and I start talking back, and you'd pick up on it in a message. No
Mm-hmm.
voice, no face to go off, just a message. And you start poking and prodding, and we'd get into a deep conversation that would help me realize that I'm whining about nothing and I need to get up and get to work. So I really do appreciate that. That's wonderful. When you have friends or soulmates or twin flames like that, guard them, protect them, help them. They'll do the same thing likewise.
I only had two more questions. I think we already, expressed them, but I'll just go ahead and ask them again in case you want to reinstate something. I was saying, are you actively participating in twin flame work or self betterment? I
Self
assume yes. It sounded like yes, but like,
Yes. Well, self-betterment, I've never fully like looked into and understood the twin flame thing. Because I've never actually sought after my twin flame. I'm curious and I kind of want to know, but that whole idea that someone's out there that you keep winding up with, or is that your yin to your yang? I don't know. I think I'm scared to meet someone like that.
so I have another soulmate, and it's
You have
actually one of
another?
my boyfriend's best friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I know who he is, and he knows who he is, and he actually fudged up a little bit at the party. And
Yeah.
my ex of 9 years was saying how, oh, well, I can say that to Shaenna, she's my ex, and he says, oh, that's on my bucket list, and like looks at me and like winks or whatever, and I'm like, what the, and he was drinking a little bit, but like I know it was real. And um the thing is like when I was like 12 or 13, I wrote in my book the perfect man, like what I would have as a perfect man. And I had a blonde version and I had a black haired version. And my twin flame matches up to my blonde hair version, and his best friend matches up to my black haired version. And I really freaking believe that they had a coin toss when they were up there before they came back down to earth, and they were like, okay, we're both going for Shaenna. because they like the same kind of music as me. They're all into it's scary, okay? It's scary. There's just the black haired version, the blonde haired version, and they're best friends. And I think that they did the coin toss, and the one said, "Well, I'm going to go for this look, and you go for that look, and we'll see who gets her." But I'm almost 100% sure that the other one never gets me. I feel that like we have never had a life where we have been together in the way that he wants. And it's gone on for a long time now. And on this life, he's kind of like, but at the same point in time, he loves his best friend, so he's not going to do anything to betray his best friend. I told Robbie right away what he said because I want full disclosure. I want him to be able to make the decision, and he didn't take it very seriously. But at
No,
least I
'cause he
told.
was drunk.
Well, I know, but many things are said that are, many things are said that you want to say when you don't have the courage to say it sober. And for a long time, that individual couldn't even talk to me normally unless he had a couple drinks in him. And now we're friends long enough that he can talk to me and even make eye contact and all kinds of things. But however, if it is true that we have never come together, there must be a reason for it cosmically. Like there must be some divine reason that that cosmically doesn't happen. You know.
Obviously, the universe will end if that happens. I mean, that's
Mhm.
why.
This is like my friend who says we're together in the 1700s. He still freaks out, or he still freaks me out. Oh my God, the story about your friend Shaenna. Yeah, it is what it is. Um, okay. You already answered this too, but are you pulled to follow the path? You answered no, correct?
Am I pulled to follow the path?
The past.
I oh no, the past is the past. It's useful. Great, a lot of tools that are in there, but I don't look to it for overly guidance. I just look to it like my tool bag, what I have to work with in this life.
That's exactly how I use mine as well.
Yeah, like why try and live the same life over and over and over again?
That's what people try to do in this life on a daily basis. They produce insanity because they're literally doing the same thing, looking for different results on a constant level, and they're unhappy with their relationships or their life or whatever it is, and they're wondering why am I not making the progress that I want to make? You know,
Hmm.
but I think at the end of the day, uh, yeah, it's all about jumping off of the hamster wheel, and that's the scariest thing. And it's like letting go of your fear of what you don't know and being willing to just do it.
So,
Hey.
Shayna, what are your actual gifts? Because
Mhm.
I know you as like just an awesome person, and the one time you summoned a dragon, but that was it.
Okay, you want the list. As
Is a
I
list? But
Okay,
yeah,
well, yeah,
let's go for it.
there's a
Let's go
list.
for it.
So any form of divination, anything, from
Hmm.
just with nothing, with just my own eyes and my own mind, I can pick up things on people. Um, tea leaf reading, great. Cards, great. Pendulum, great. Stone reading, great. Crystal gazing, anything like that. I can do all of that. I can do whatever. I'll find you Jesus in your toast or whatever it is you're looking for. Um,
Jesus and toast.
there is. Can I crash at your place? And I am blocking whoever this is. Let's just block that person. Yeah,
Can I
I don't know.
crash at your place?
Yeah, I blocked them. I'm not into whatever weirdness that's going on. I don't know what's going on there.
They're probably trying to be
uh,
clever.
right? Don't get cheeky with me, buddy. You get blocked, right? I can see spirits of all varieties. They don't have to be living, meaning that they don't have to be a person. They can be demons. They can be other ethereal beings, creatures. I've seen angels. I've seen fairies. I've seen tons of demons. I've seen what I think is a gargoyle. I've seen what people would describe as gnomes. I've seen auras on people. I could do some past life regression, but it only comes and goes as it feels. I don't just like call that out. Auras I see in black and white typically, but from time to time they appear to me in color. And sometimes it will
Hmm.
be just one area is glowing. Sometimes it's all of the place. I can almost always tell when someone's pregnant because their stomach glows gold. I know when people are going to die before they are going to die, usually a few days before they're going to die. Sometimes within the hour, even if it's just a freak accident. Um, I've seen Death several times. I met him when I was in kindergarten. His name is Michael. I'm not the only person who knows him by that. I've met several people in life who have described him the same way and come up with the name on their own without me telling them. Um, I can manifest whatever you want. I'm pretty good at magic. I'm really good at both the light and the dark, but I choose to do the light. That doesn't mean that I am fully light. It just means that that's what I choose. You know, I'm a Pisces.
Mhm.
You get me wrong, rub me the wrong way, you're dealing with the wrong person. But typically, I'm very, very sweet. I do voodoo and hoodoo, but typically my magic I do on my own is off of my heart and comes out literally off of my chest and this and that, like whatever I feel like the moment needs. And then beyond that, everything from talisman creation to paintings, drawing, sculptures, uh, food, singing, dancing. I'm typically, what are my gifts and talents? I don't know how to weld and I don't know how to glass blow, but I'm trying to learn.
That's that's a great list. At the
Like,
very end, weld and glass blow. I'm not sure
uh,
that's a magical talent, but you're gonna find a way. You'll make it into
well,
one.
I believe that the singing and cooking and all of those are actually magical gifts. I believe that singing is a gift of healing, and that
Hmm.
even myself, like when I sing, it heals myself. That cooking, you're healing others, you're showing love. That some people can't freaking cook. I knew a girl who messed up cereal one time. She put orange juice in it. It did not work out. Like so, I'm just saying,
Cooking cooking
gifts.
can be as magical as alchemy
Yeah,
because someone who takes these raw ingredients that make no sense and they blend them in a way to make a sour sweet, it's straight up magic. You feel
right.
emotions. You want to cry.
It's pretty much a little bit of everything on my hand. It's just that I focus from one thing or the other depending. Like, I don't know. I do what is necessary when is necessary, if that makes sense. And that might change, like there's a time where I do nothing but I'm in ritual bath like every freaking night, and then there's times where I'm like, so many candles are burning, my room looks like it's on fire practically, and
Hmm.
it just kind of depends. But Philip, though, I know that you have the gift of somewhat prophecy and somewhat manifestation, and I know that it would come up a lot more, and it's about to come up a lot more. So hopefully, we'll have another segment with you in a couple months once those things has come through, and once that tiger has set in a little bit. Um, there's a lot of good changes. We should do a private reading at some point in time. Okay, so anybody have any questions for Philip before we go?
Any questions? Anything?
There's only two people. I'm looking at you, Betsy. I'm looking at you, Moira.
Both of you. Come on. One question a piece. Two questions. Simple. Come on.
They did give us some, though, so at least that. Well, do you have anything you want to free will say?
Free will.
Like,
You
it's
mean
not
like?
prompt.
Oh, okay. Uh, geez. No, not exactly. There. I remember. I remember the first time that I knew that something was up, that there was more to the world, and that I could sense people's feelings. I was a little kid, maybe seventh grade, and my mom took me over to her friend's house. He was an artist, and she liked me hanging out with him because he was showing me techniques. And then, so we're hanging out with them, and his girlfriend comes home, and she's acting normal. She's in the kitchen doing random things, but I can feel her. It was weird. I could feel a sense of dread and this type of fear and sadness that I didn't understand, but I was able to pick it up to like, Mom, we should leave. We wound up leaving because we were there an hour already. So she left and she asked me why should we leave, and I said she feels upset. She's angry at him and sad. I think she's going to dump him. Sure enough, the next day she dumped him, or I found out that she had dumped him right after we left.
Wow.
And so he wanted to know how I knew. My mother wanted to know how I knew, and I just couldn't explain it.
Oh, that's awesome. And that's definitely a sign of, just your gifts and things like that. I think a lot of time people will know, they'll walk into a room and they can feel the heaviness in the room. They can feel that there's somebody had been fighting, but for whatever reason, they don't connect the dots. That's a gift. That's your psychic mind trying to show you something.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, that was an amazing
We're all,
example.
we're all connected, and you'll be able to feel the tension in a room. How can you feel the tension in the room if we are solitude, lone
Mhm.
little creatures that walk around this planet? We're connected. So that's why you feel tension in a room when someone's angry, when people have been fighting. You weren't there for the fight. You don't know. They might even act normal, like when
Mhm.
you knew when your parents were fighting, or when you
Mhm.
know a room's full of people who were talking about you, but they just stopped.
Yep.
That
You're
kind
like,
of
oh.
stuff. We're all connected. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Philip. This has been awesome. I know everybody watching it has like loved the beep out of it. I know all of our replays are going to love the beep out of it, and we will get a bunch of replays. That usually happens kind of towards the second half of what we call daytime here because most of my clients are on the other side of the world. So that is what is going on. But I'm selfish, and instead of having this at 11:11 p.m. at night every night for people, I do it at 11:11 a.m. And those on this side of the hemisphere can watch it when they can live,
Uh-huh.
and then everybody else has to come and join us later. But that's okay; they love it anyways, and I appreciate the beep out of it. Oh,
Same
Moira just
thing.
said something. She said, "Well, I guess thank you for being on because I have felt pulled to to I've been well, I guess thank you for being on because I've been filled pulled to my soulmate who I've always been clicked with from the day we met. I remember as psychic when I started my journey and I could feel my friend in Florida as my twin flame. Well, Moira, you know what? If you decide that you want to switch from one to the other, it doesn't matter because as long as you're doing what you can to be your true self and your self betterment, say thank you for my true twin and my perfect partner. Whoever you're supposed to be with will be with you at the end of the day. And that's why I say anybody who's doubting, is this the person I'm supposed to be with or not? Just say that little mantra, thank you for my true twin and my perfect partner. The right person will come guided to you and you won't have to search for them. They will just be gifted to you. So just take your gifts as you're given. Philip?
If you feel that connection, you do you. You
Mm-hmm.
follow out what you feel is right by you. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
no one is the supreme authority. No one has the last say. This is your time around in this life, in this skin. So hell, if you should twin flame, go. Enjoy it.
Yeah. And even
Find
if he's
out.
just your soulmate, just have fun with it.
There's two things I want to well, one thing I wanted to mention is I'm doing next month's art hop here in Fresno, California.
Ooh.
So I do miniature painting mostly because that pays the bills, but I'm actually I like to do sculpting and canvas painting, mural painting.
Did
And
you paint?
so that is my handle for that is on Instagram and any kind of social media is Killcats. KILLCATTS. So on the 7th, if you're in Fresno, if you're in California, come on downtown and Killcats will present love,
And where
basically.
what studio are you going to be in?
The Peerless Building, 1555 Broadway, downtown.
1555 Broadway. Oh, Broadway Studios. I used to show in Broadway.
Mm, cool.
So that is on the 17th, you said, or the 7th?
No, the 7th.
The 7th. Okay, so the 7th at 1550 Broadway. And if you
Hmm.
can do us a favor, when we get off of here, if you can come back onto the feed and just leave in the comments below that information, that way people can go back and find it.
Oh, and the second thing, for your late night or early morning viewers, it's somewhere, sometime. Leave a message, a comment, and we'll do a follow-up video where we answer all any questions you have.
Oh yeah. Actually, that reminds me. I guess I was gonna make an announcement anyways, but I guess I'll do it now and then I could do another one later. My twin flame has also offered to do a question corner, and we don't know how many we would do, but if you guys wanted to group up a bunch of questions, he would answer them. So if Philip wants to do a question and answer, we can do question corner with Philip Ramos, and then we can do a question corner with Robbie Ray as well. So that's pretty awesome. Like that people are willing to just come on here and help us guide us, right? So let's not make waste of that. Make sure that thank you for Moira says she's going to share. Yes, please do. Please share. And anybody, just leave your questions right on the Twin Flame Union page, and then we will address them. So that will be nice and fun.
Hmm.
Yay. Alrighty then. Well, I'm going to make sure that he leaves his information in the comments below. And thank you all for joining us. Please share,
Thank you.
like, subscribe, all that. Big hand to Philip for being here and joining us. And sharing
Thanks.
his soulmate journey with us and his
Hmm.
past lives with us. And thank you, just everybody. All right, I'll talk to you later.
All
Bye.
right. Bye.